Hello everyone and welcome to my screencast on the digital tool Smore. I just wanted to show you the main page to start. Smore is a great digital tool that you can use to create newsletters and send them out. It's especially useful in education. I've seen a lot of teachers use Smore, and it's also helpful for a school librarian in creating or developing library culture. By creating newsletters with Smore, you can keep students updated with what is going on at the library, what school activities will take place there. You can highlight chosen books for each grade weekly or however often you'd like, and you could even share resources with students directly through email, which I think is a great benefit of using this digital tool. Students can also use this tool to create presentations. That is what I'm also doing for you today. I am creating a digital presentation of Smore itself, so you guys will have access to that through this Smore page that you're probably viewing the screencast on. I've seen a lot of teachers use this as presentation for classes, so this can also be used by a school librarian in instructional classes in the library. So let's just start out by logging in. I'm going to log into my account on Smore to get started. I think I have it set up with Facebook, so give it just a moment to load. Okay, here we go. So here's the landing page that you're going to get to when you first log into Smore. To start a newsletter, all you have to do is go up to this button up here. It says start a newsletter and it's big and orange, so we're going to press that. And we're going to create a new newsletter. Now I already started one for this project, but I'm going to show you how to quickly start making one with a template so you can get started with whatever project you're working on. So let's go over to Classroom since we are going to mainly be using Smore for education and in the library. And it tells us to start by picking a title. So let's just pretend that we're making a new book club list for students. So let's do that. Book club list, and let's pretend it's for middle grade books. So we're going to do grades 6 to 8 here. And we're going to press done. And now looking at this background, I wouldn't want to keep this background on for education. So if I'm going to change that, I'm probably going to change it to something a little bit more simple. Now, you can pick a template over here in design, but you can also take it a step forward and customize a little bit what it looks like. So Smore has a bunch of backgrounds all in this background tab right here, where you can pick a different picture for the background of your slides. So if you don't like how a certain thing looks, you can completely change it. So let's see if we can find something like books or education. And if we can't find something here, we might want to go to a different page. So let's go back to minimal. And we can even just press something like this. That looks kind of cute. Just like a minimalistic background. You can also change the colors of the theme of the page. So right now I think it's on this like red. So if we look around, we can find something that kind of matches the background. So I'm kind of liking this one. This one blends in pretty well. And we can also add a whole bunch of different like tools to the Smore page. So there's a way to add more stuff to your newsletter. So I think of Smore as not just a newsletter. Sometimes I think of it as like a landing page in order to like present information in a new way. So like you're looking at something that's a lot like a PowerPoint presentation, but it's all on one page. It's actually a lot more work, I think, to make a Smore page than it is to make a PowerPoint, because there's just a lot of different pieces of information that go into the page, and you're going to be looking at a lot of different aspects versus if you were just making a PowerPoint and you throw it together really fast. Like this one is interactive, and you're creating an experience for your fellow classmates, students, and or faculty, and you're creating that resource for them. So it's more like a library guide in a way, because you're just adding a lot of information to one like spot so that way people can access it quickly. So I think of it as like this interactive web page rather than just a newsletter. You can add YouTube videos to Smore, which I really love. This is how I'm going to add my video to the Smore page. I can also put it on Vimeo and things like that. So that's a really great feature. You can also add events. So if you were putting like an event from the library into this newsletter, you would just kind of like click it, and you can change where it's positioned after you finish something. So if we say that there's going to be a book club meeting on a certain day, okay, so like let's pretend it's next week, hopefully at 9 a.m. instead of 9 p.m. Right, and we're going to just say it's at the library. Come to the library for a book club meeting, exclamation point, and done. So you see this event is now added to our newsletter, and we can just scroll over it, and it's now movable. So like when you click down and drag, you can move it all the way up to the top of the page if you'd like to. So like that's the first thing people would see when they look at your newsletter. And that's just great because I love that you can drag and drop all of these different aspects around. So you can also add pictures to Smore, which is super cool. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. I have a whole bunch on my computer, so bear with me. It's a little bit slower than most. Okay, let's see. So on my page, I just kind of put a picture of ducks on as an example. So let me see if I can find something similar in photos. Nope, that's not there. Okay. So we're going to go over to documents instead. And I swear I just had a photo open. Alright, so nothing's loading now. So let's just cancel that for a moment. But if you press this and upload a photo in, then it just goes straight into that little frame. And you can change it so the frame's on the other side. All you have to do is click the arrows and it flips that around. You can also edit the text that's here. So if you were creating something for the library, you might want to call it something else. So let's just say that there's going to be a class in the library after school, or maybe some kind of club. So let's just say that the chess club is having an interest meeting. And ask Miss Demko from my storyboard for information on chess club. So So this is just like a quick example. If I had like a chess piece picture, I'd put it like right there. If you didn't need something, you can always delete it and remove it from your newsletter. You can add a link to a website, and you can also add pictures and captions to your pictures, which is really cool if you wanted to like put library staff here or something similar. You can also put contact information here, so if you wanted to give students your school email, you could. You could put a gallery in if you wanted to share like projects and things that students were working on in the library. Perhaps they're working on something in the makerspace. You can add new titles in between all of these different modules. And you can also add audio, which I think is really cool. All you have to do is add something from SoundCloud. You can just grab a URL from any song that is copyright free. So you just would have to look up what's Creative Commons and then put that in. You can also add files, but that's something that the Pro membership gets you. Personally, I think it's great to use Smore without the membership. I've never had a problem not using the Pro, so it's a great tool, and majority of it is free, and it's just very helpful in a lot of different situations and a lot of different presentations. You can use it for a lot of things. It's very versatile. It's probably my favorite digital tool ever. So we can also make forms, and you can create it on Google Forms, which is great. Google Forms is really easy to use, or you can use Wufoo. I've never used Wufoo before for this, but I can vouch for Google Forms and say that works pretty well on Smore. So that's basically how you use Smore. It's so useful in a school library. You know, you'd be able to really help build the culture of your school library by creating Smore newsletters. When you're done editing, you just press the done button. You just have to fix the open editing boxes first. So let me just get rid of some of those so I can show you what's going on. So we'll remove that. Press done or cancel. There we go. So they want you to finish everything before you send it, so that's a really cool safety. I've actually never had that happen because I've never not finished my Smore. So that was a good test. All right, we're done editing. It's now online, and we're just gonna wait for it to load in a minute. Okay, so you can send your newsletter by email. You can enter recipients, or you can create a mailing list on Smore. You have up to 200 emails you can put in there, or you can just do it as a one-time thing. So like if you put it on a copy and paste in Word, you can just copy the text that you typed on Word that you saved to your computer, put it in here, and you can send it that one time. Or you can send it in batches. You can also share it on social media, which I think is way easier. So if you have like a Twitter or probably a Facebook page for your library on the internet, you can also post it there for students to look at after school. You can also see some stats on your Smore, which I think is very helpful. You'll be able to see who sees it, who likes it, and show some more analytics. So you can unlock that after 30 views, and you can upgrade to Pro to just see it, but it's really nice to have those analytics available for you after 30 views. And I'm sure at a school, you'd be able to get those 30 views very quickly. You can also look at settings, and you can adjust whether or not it has social media buttons, name and profile. You know, it has your profile on Smore available to view, or related newsletters. So like you could take out the related newsletters, and you can take out the profile so it would just show the newsletter itself. You can also change it from public to private or private to public, which is really useful if you only want it to stay within your school network. You send out the link and only your school has it. You can also upgrade here, but you don't have to do that. Again, a lot of things are free, not just to pro users. So you can use a lot of the same features that pro users can. They just get a little bit extra. You can also do a custom domain if you're a pro member with your school. So that's pretty cool. And Google Analytics, you can use your code to help use it with the newsletter. All right, so that's Smore. It's a great website and a great digital tool. I hope you guys enjoyed the screencast, and you have a good night.